Welcome to the Landmark Theater's Q&A podcast. In this podcast, you will hear a discussion with actor Kristen Stewart from the film Personal Shopper, moderated by the playlist's Greg Elwood, recorded at the Landmark in West Los Angeles.
This is your second film with the director, Olivier Assayas. How did he approach you about this one after Clouds of Silvermare? Did he ever want to talk about, like, this is what this means, this is what it is, or did he just show up, you guys are going to shoot, this is what I think about the character, that's it?
Yeah, the way that he works is really similar to how I feel like I really thrive. Everything is articulated in action. Like he's really not interested in leading you somewhere necessarily. He doesn't even necessarily know the answers to the questions he's asking. He prefers to watch you figure it out, and he even says I couldn't. If you ask certain questions, because I'm sort of designed to want to satisfy somebody who's hired me, he's like, I couldn't possibly answer that for you. It's almost like if you have a kid or something, and they're like, wait, tell me a finite answer to something that I should think of myself. You know what I mean? It's sort of like you put them in a position where they can sort of be encouraged to figure it out rather than be spoon-fed something. Because he's not interested in making statements. It's I don't know. It sounds lame, but it's like a spiritual thing for him.
So, did you have your own inspiration for Marie? Did you sort of find your own sort of motivation for what she's going through? Or since he wasn't articulating it past the script?
I mean, she's so void of any individuality at this point because grappling with such immense grief just makes you sort of a stranger in every sense of you're just you have no place. You see people doing normal things and you're just I'd love to find my way into that. I can't understand how I can exist in that if I don't know who I am. You know what I mean? She's half of a person. She misses him so much. She's almost doing an impression of him the entire time. And it was there was no way to prepare for it. It was kind of I was ready to. I needed endurance. I knew that. But it's such a shifting, ambiguous relationship that she has with any sort of conclusion that there was nothing that I could do to get ready. I mean, I didn't even know where she was from. I just sort of imagined maybe she was from where somewhere I was from. So it was just the easiest, most tangible way of getting into someone.
So what do you think then, while all this is going on, is her fascination with her boss? She hates her boss. She sort of verbalizes. She tells everyone she hates the job. She doesn't like what she's doing, but she still loves her apartment. She loves her clothes. She likes the idea of being in her clothes, but then she questions it. What do you? Is it just the danger of it? Why do you think she sort of goes on that sort of journey?
I think that she genuinely appreciates beauty and aesthetic, but is so. There's something innately superficial about that, and so, but at the same time, not at all, because it's fundamentally humans. There's nothing to be ashamed of there. It's just that when you're thinking about loss and whether you're alone or not in the world and what it's all for, that seems fucking ridiculous to give a shit about. And so, and also she's denying a certain She just misses him so much that I think anytime there's this androgynous thing that she's got going on because she doesn't want to be herself at all. She doesn't even want to acknowledge that exists. So I feel there's one way into that, and it only happens occasionally, and it's sort of steeped in guilt. But when she does, and that's thrilling. You know what I mean? Anything that you're not supposed to do, it feels. Yeah. When she puts that stuff on, it's reaching in and finding the most primal. She's a woman, you know what I mean? But it's not easy for her to do that on a daily basis because it's just this reminder of loss.
So I'm curious about a couple things. So my favorite sequence in the entire movie, one of my favorite sequences for the past whole year, is the sequence where you get on the train and there's almost no dialogue except when you're at the fashion place getting the clothes and you're texting. I don't know what it's, whatever the designer. I forgot what it's called because I've been there so many times. but you're taking the train and you're texting, and then it gets more and more intense on the way back. And I'm curious, how is it written as a script? And can you talk about shooting that sequence?
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, we were just talking about the fact that Olivier never knew, like if he was doing a close-up, he never knew where I was in a text thread because I was texting a prop guy. So there were times where I was like, I mean, he obviously knew what scenes we were shooting at any given moment and like saw the lines on the page, but I changed them sometimes and then like took, minutes in between. He didn't know what I was reacting to ever, really.
You had to figure it out in the editing room.
Yeah, so that, I mean, it was, I was nervous about that when I read it, because I was like, is this just going to be like, gratingly boring? You're just going to be, you know what I mean? But those scenes, like my hands were literally, I mean, like, I can text quickly, but my hands were shaking. Like, it was like, I don't know if it was because I had this, I don't know, like, self-imposed thing, like, not in a result-oriented way. I wasn't like so concerned for keeping this engaging and entertaining. Like I was super like aware of the fact that we're making a movie. It's just that I was like, self-conscious, but that like informed it. Do you know what I mean? Like it was sort of like I was externalizing the most internal thing ever, and you don't know if that's coming across or if you're literally just doing this.
Well, the other thing was, and I talked to Olivier earlier this week, which is why I have all this background, is he told me that when he had written that sequence and then they started shooting it, he realized, oh my gosh, I need more material. I need to do more. And that he shot more stuff than he had planned to during, was 1 day or 2 days, or was it less than that?
We did a day of pickups of just all texting stuff because we like grossly underestimated how long it was going to take on a train that we only had like 12 hours on. And so, yeah, we just didn't get it all, that's all. It just took, yeah.
Anyway, but
it wasn't like new stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But in the sequence, when you're at the fashion house, you're already realizing something's wrong with this guy on the phone. Like, it's a little strange. And you put on this piece, this really constricting sort of piece, like while you're sort of trying it on for your boss. And I'm curious, was that a choice that Olivia made? Was that something that you guys were both there and you saw that, or the costume designer made? Because I felt like it was so appropriate about what is going on sort of in that sort of sequence.
Yeah, I didn't choose it, but yeah, I think at that point in the movie, she's so unaware of who she might be talking to that it's like there might be eyes on her all the time. So yeah, I just sort of felt like that, like, putting it on, like when she's like, hey, you should try it on, and he's like, no, I can't, like, and then she's like, no, do it. It's not only just personal, I don't know, it's almost like she feels like she's being watched or something, or even if it's not, like, even if that's like too far out and like weird, and or maybe even just a subconscious notion, like she likes to be the subject of voyeurism. Do you know what I mean? Like there's like a thing where but then there's like massive guilt and shame and weird self-hatred surrounding that too, because it's like absurd. Yeah.
So one of the great things about the movie is there is this real supernatural stuff that is clearly real. She's experiencing it, she's seeing it. Can you talk about shooting that and how Olivier described it to you, what it was supposed to be, and when you finally saw it, is it what you had in your head?
Yeah, I had no idea what it was going to look like. And it was so weird for me to like, I just thought the limitations of something like that would have taken it so far outside of what I imagined it. Like, it was like difficult at first to approach committing to it, but then once we started going, honestly, like, I don't know, man. It was scary. I asked him what he was really, and this sounds so lame, but like, I asked him like if what he's like the most, not like what are you most scared of, like not like based. No, I wasn't like getting all deep with him. I was just like, what freaks you out? Like what would happen right now that would just make you like lose your shit? And he's afraid of birds. and he was like, if a flock of like birds came in here right now, I would just, and he was so genuine about it. It was so funny, and I was like, cool. I think I'll just like think about something else.
Maybe a spider or something like that.
Yeah.
So, for your own life, however, do you believe in spirits? Do you believe in ghosts, or?
I mean, that's what I've been saying. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but no, but I don't know.
Just lastly, can you talk about, this is the second movie you made with Olivier, and I know that he's potentially talked about working again. You've worked with some great directors. Like, what about him is just so exciting to you to work with him?
I mean, I guess it's just mainly process, because at this point I couldn't like project into the future. I couldn't honestly, I have no idea what's going to come out of that guy's head. Like, we plan on working together again, and I have no idea like where that's going to take us. But I do know that I've never found anyone that I feel so, I don't know, like we have this dual sort of like responsibility, and it sounds like it's kind of ridiculous for me to like repurpose his words, because it's like slightly embarrassing and a little bit like I don't know, it might sound like self-aggrandizing, but like he was like we introduced the movie for the last time together last night, and he was like, I direct it from the outside and she directs it from the inside. I could never know really what she's going through, but I can like capture it, and I can ask her questions, and I can like do whatever, like the same shit that I've been talking about. But like, I've never met anyone like that, and we don't have like a really wordy relationship. It's just we kind of like, I don't know, we just kind of push each other in this great way, and it's so rare. Like it's, yeah.
And just last, did you realize that while shooting Clouds of Sils Maria, or did you realize it after you saw the movie?
Oh, I saw the movie and I was like, wow, I really need to work with him again. He really makes me really like. He really pulls the best out of me. No, it's totally like the experience of it. Like, yeah. But more so on the second one, for real. But I think that because I play somebody in Clouds that is so like not on the forefront of anything, I think that he wanted to sort of get inside. You know what I mean? Like she's kind of on the periphery.
Well, Kristen, thank you so much. Please thank Kristen, and please spread the word about Kristen Schaper.
You have been watching the Landmark Theater's Q&A podcast. For further in-depth discussions with filmmakers, be sure to check out the other Q&As available on our channel from past films. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all our bonus content. Thanks for watching.